Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've got the results of another $1,000 strap search here. So what I do is I go to local banks around me and I pick up $1,000 in $1 bills and I search through. I'm mainly looking to create a series of $1 bills from 1963 until today that is every single series year and Federal Reserve Bank. So I want every series year, each printing facility. So this one was printed at Fort Worth. There's DC printed ones too. So I want every series year, printing facility, and Federal Reserve Bank. So that is quite a lot of $1 bills since they started making these in 1963. So let's go ahead and go through what I've got here today. Starting off with a Where's George. Go to the website www.where'sgeorge.com and you log in the serial number. You can only do it for bills that you have in your possession. You're not, you don't want to take this bill and log it in. So log in bills, that you find from there. This was really big a few years ago. I think the popularity's kind of waned, but it's still kind of cool to see where these notes have been. So I will take that and log that in. And we're moving on now to some stars. This is a 2017 A from Chicago. Found a few stars this week. Another 2017 A from Boston. Another 2017 A. Always also checking for filled stars there too. There's an over-inking error where they can have a filled-in star. So that's always something to look for. And we're moving on to 2017's. There's a 2013 star note from Dallas. Another 2017 star note from Dallas. 2013, sorry. All right. Moving on to some of the older notes that we found this week. Got a 2003. There's a 2003A. And, actually, no, I'm sorry. These are potential upgrades. These two. So I'm going to set those back there. And this one is a potential upgrade as well as this guy. So I'll hold those ones back and see if they are upgrades at the end of the video there. Now we're moving on to some of the older ones for the week. We got a 2003. This one's pretty worn out. Definitely ones that I'll wind up spending later. Just because they're so worn, they're not really worth anything numismatically, so I might as well save up a bunch and then just go get something at the coin shop. Oops. The 2003A. Ooh, really worn out 2003A. Pulling tons of 2003As, and I guess that's kind of good, because it's more money that I'm saving essentially, and holding back. So done with all those 2003s. Moving on to the 1999 series. Oh yeah, it was a 1999 from New York. I always want to say B when I see that, or say Boston when I see that B. But yeah, it's New York. A is Boston. Yeah. Got a 1995. Always checking to see if those ones are a web note. This one won't be because it is from the Fort Worth branch. And another one that won't be one because it is from the Fort Worth branch. And another 95 from Fort Worth. That one is really worn down and discolored. Got a 1985. This one's not in too bad a shape, for being as old as it is. And this one is a definite addition to the book. It's not the oldest one from the hunt, this week, but it's definitely an old one. If I remember right, this one only had like 23 million notes printed, this series, for this one. You know, just imagine how few of them are left. You know, so these bills are not ones that I come across very often. It's always really exciting when I find one. You know, I get to check my list and see if it's one that I need and get to cross off. And this one definitely is one that I needed and get to cross off. Also found a 1963. This is the oldest find from the hunt. 1963 from St. Louis. It's not one that I needed for the book. It's one that I already had. But I might as well just double check that and see if that is a upgrade. And the next three that I've got here are some fancy serial numbers. I'm not sure if this one qualifies as fancy. I kind of stuck out at me because of the way that it, you know, goes from 1 to 2, but it's a trinary at least, but those don't really have much value. I don't think they have any value over face, trinary, so I don't even really know if this is worth anything. I doubt that it is, especially in the condition. It's all worn out. But I also found an alternator, 7 being the alternating digit there, so 4797 9757. And this one is a rotator because the 8s, the 0s, and the 6s can be read as 8s, 0s, and 9s when you flip it upside down. Found a couple of these recently. I think that's kind of a cool fancy serial number to find a rotator. I don't know if they're really worth much over face or how much they are, but same with that rotator. I don't know how much it is. Given how many I've come across, I get the feeling that they're not all that rare and not all that valuable. So, but it's worth holding on to for a while. So, give me less than a second here and I'll have it all set up for the addition to the book and the potential upgrades here. So, give me just a second and I will be right back. All right, I got the big binder out here that has the whole dollar bill collection in it so far. And I got it open here to the 1963 page. Right there is the 1963H. That is one that we found another one of there. And other than the fact that the one that was in there is genuinely in better condition, it's also a star note. So I think that kind of makes it cool. A dollar bill, a replacement dollar bill from way back in 1963 that's still around. So that is not an upgrade. I'm definitely going to leave that the way it is here. And next on the list is a 1969C. So we're going to need to flip forward ahead a little bit. Most of these dollar bills I found in circulation, I have bought a couple. These silver certificates, of course, I bought, but I've bought a couple, you know, just if I see them and they're on my list at a coin shop. You know, the old dollar bills are generally pretty cheap, so I'll just pick them up. It's kind of cheating a little bit, but whatever. It's my collection. I can do what I want with it. 1963B here. This is the Barr. Joseph W. Barr was only the Secretary of the Treasury for a few months before he was replaced, so they didn't make these for very long. It's supposed to be kind of a harder series to find, but I only need one left to have it complete, to have the series complete, so really not that hard to find, even though he only was in the job for a couple months. So moving on here, 1969, there's finally the A, and these, you find so few of these 60s and 70s ones that I've only found one 1969A series dollar bill, and see, these found 3 1963Bs. And look at that, it goes directly to 1963D. This is the, whoop, didn't mean to bump that. This is the first 1969C that I have found. So I got to add a new empty page to the binder. And I don't really like to put, like, especially when this is the only one in the binder, I don't really like to put it in the top one just because they kind of stick out a little bit, and you can kind of see there how they're, if you jostle the binder around too much, they kind of poke out a little bit, and you know, that damages them. So I like to keep them out of the top slot until it's necessary. So moving on here. Next stop is 2003. Let's see if that is an upgrade. 2001. Ooh, too far. 2003. It's a Fort Worth L. There it is. So this is the one that we found. This is the one that's in there. Definitely the one that's in there is in better shape, so that is not an upgrade. I will put that back. 2003A is the next one. This guy right there. Let's see if this is an upgrade. I would say definitely not. The one that's in there is in great shape. I'm trying to put it back easily so it stays in great shape. Now, 2009. A lot of these ones, especially from 2006, 2009, I just kind of put in there. Didn't really take much time to see about upgrading them. 2009 Fort Worth. F. So, that is the one that's in there. And that's the one that we found. Ooh, that's kind of a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to say the one that was in there is in slightly better shape. So we'll keep that the way it is. Now, 2009 Fort Worth E is the next one. Let me move this down a little bit so we can see. This is the last potential upgrade. So, the one that's in there, man, they are both in nice shape. You know what? I'm just gonna double this one up. Why not? They're both in really good shape. I'm just gonna double that up there. All right. So I think that should do it for this week's strap hunt. We got to add one to the book. That's always really exciting when we find a dollar bill that we get to add to the book, especially when we're at the point that we are now. And you know, I've just got so many. Like, I've got most of the early ones filled in. I've got all of the 1999s. I just finished that out not too long ago. I know there's still a few in like 2003 or 2001, 2003A, something like that. I need a couple in that range. And then a bunch from all the other series, you know, 1990, 1995, 93, I need a bunch of those. So, yeah, there's the 95s. 93, need some of those. 88A, I've got most of the 88A. That was the first one that they started making in Fort Worth. So before that, they're all gonna be, oops, like that. Yeah, no Fort Worth, all just DC facility. I need a few of those, and then yeah, that like from let's see here. There starts 1988A, so that's a huge amount of notes, even though there aren't as many series from 1998A to today as there were leading up to 1988A, and that is how many of the older ones that I found. You know, you hardly ever find them from the 70s. Those series, where are they here? 1974, like you hardly ever find those. 77, I found a few of those. 77A, you know, it's just hardly any. Because they were they were just $1. Nobody really cared about trying to save them or anything, and it's just $1. So people don't really pay attention to what the series year is. They all look the same, so they just go on about their day. So I think it's fun though. I enjoy hunting these. So if you like this video and you want to see more, please give me a like and a subscribe and leave a comment down below. That really helps out the channel. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys with the next one.